Let me ask you, whether it's in response to Botham Jean or just in general, we've seen in other communities them really start talking about economic divestment. You know, the only thing powerful rich people, especially business owners, care about is their bottom line.
Right.
And if their bottom line was affected, then maybe they'd start barking, at the police departments and this. Have you seen any efforts among activists
Oh
here?
yeah, definitely. Just like even Saturday, the protest you were talking about, or the march you were just talking about before the cameras and shit. 10-6, we organized. It was different gun groups from across the Texas, from Houston, Fort Worth, Dallas. We came together. March open carry at the Texas OU game at Fair Park, and we understanding that these Europeans are coming to our neighborhood. One wild gentrification is going on in that same neighborhood, and they're coming spending $6 million in South Dallas, and none of that shit is going to the community. You dig? So they're even parking on our high school campuses and shit like that. So it's a huge disrespect. So what we did is said, hey, well, when we go to y'all community, y'all make sure we don't feel comfortable. So y'all not finna come to our community and make us feel comfortable. And hopefully we could tap into some of that $6 million that is coming to Dallas at the Texas OU game. And then definitely there's different boycotts being strategized from different, as a collective effort from different organizations throughout the city.
And obviously, you had the protest Saturday. Things pop up kind of organically, but it looks like the community, Dallas, like you guys were telling me before, is like a hotbed for activism.
Yeah.
But it really looks like very hardcore. The community's coming together.
Yeah.
You saw the district attorney was on a panel with a few other people,
Yeah,
and there was a really, they were just directly shouting at him because this is so.
Faith Johnson.
Right. So can you kind of talk about what you've seen so far for the community response here? Do you think it's enough? What also, because our audience always wants to know, because I go and cover a lot of stories locally,
Right.
but what can people do that don't live here? What do you see happening in the community, and what should people know or do?
Hey man, it's going down in D-Town, man, from self-defense training to different gun groups, from groups like Guerilla Mainframe, Geronimo Tactical, have private property where black people could train on, which they do train on very often. We have different communities. We have, from the political front, from the education, from arts. We have a whole culture. It's like Dallas is like we have a mecca here of activism, of just black culture, of just a whole community, bro. You know what I'm saying? So don't let them tell y'all what black people is and not doing. You come down here and you get amongst your people and you do it yourself, because it's a whole, I'm talking about from different aspects of because what we talk about is nation building. What black people don't have, we don't have our own nation. We don't really have a flag. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Unless we're dealing with the RBG flag given to us by Marcus Messiah Garvey. But we are people. We don't think in the context of nationalism. But if you come here in Dallas, go to stores like the Pan-African Connection or the Doc Bookshop, you will see like a mini community, a mini nation that's going through its own politics, but we're all around these issues, and we meet on on the ground with issues like Botham Jean and O'Shea Terry. We see each other in the community for the festive stuff, and we also see each other on the ground doing the work. Yeah, so it's alive here in Dallas.
About you?
Basically, he just summed it up. Yeah.
I want to.
Anything people can do though?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. I think he was asking, is there anything people can do on the outside, like help fundraising? I don't know what you guys are doing, things like that.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely, it's just, get in where you fit in. If you want to support us, man, I guess it just depends on what level, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want to support us personally, you can definitely do that. I happen to be a musician. My name is Brotha Shawt, BROTHA SHAWT. You can support me on my music. I'm everywhere, every streaming platform, all that. But other than that, we have a GoFundMe. That protest situation kind of messed up our financial situation, but we're back on track at this time. But if you like to support still, GoFundMe, support 2 of the Dallas 9. But yeah, other than that, man, look up an organization and send some money to them. You know what I'm saying? Send some money to them. What if it's Geronimo Tactical, GMF, Huey P. Newton Gun Club? Man, there's so many things you can do. But we gotta finance our reality, so we need the economics to really do anything in this society. You know what I'm saying?
And I also think we were talking before the interview. You don't really look at things like Democrat and Republican, and I think more people around the country are just seeing we basically have one party and it's just corrupt. But part of the reason that things like this are just normalized, like the fact that she was in jail for an hour, she got out, she's whatever she's doing, she's free right now until trial. There's no pressure on these politicians. None of these politicians are being confronted about where do you stand on this, you know, pressuring them to take a stand. For black people, for children getting massacred in their schools. I mean, it's all over the country. Do you want to see people, I mean, forget Ted Cruz and people here, but do you want to see more people? Because our media does not cover this stuff. Exactly. They cover, I mean, we just left and it's like CNN, breaking news, Trump back at the White House, like that's breaking news. Do people need to start basically harassing their politicians on behalf of victims like Botham or O'Shea or other people, and making this, because it's really a responsibility for white people as much as it is black people?
Me personally, I think, you know, my own personal philosophy, I feel like, yeah, sure, you can do that. I think that's what got Amber Geiger fired, is pressure from the community, regular working class people. But at the same time, you know, that politics shit, bro, that's long range. We got people dealing with shit right now, you know what I'm saying, yesterday. So we need to get active on our own, and it's not up for black people to accept nourishment and resources from white people. It's on us to look at our situation and change it from ourselves. You dig? And we need to really do that. So I think that's the root of our situation, is we're afraid of us. We have allowed white people to make us scared of us and not want to engage. We want to compete with each other instead of succeed with each other. So that's my own philosophy. But I do see there is place for pressure on the politicians.
I believe you know, the community, they need to get out and vote. You know, these people that's in high power, you know, politicians or whatever that's not doing their job, they need to get voted out, move out the way. They just being a token black and a puppet, you know what I'm saying? And they really not here for us. Because if they was here for us, they'd be doing their job. So it's just, they just getting money, you know, and getting out the way.
And a lot of these politicians don't dare say anything about the police.
Right.
Right, and also our district attorney, Faith Johnson, Democrat, but was appointed by the Republican governor. You dig? So we already know, man, it's just a game, bro. You know, she's just a black-white person. You know what I'm saying?
Before we go, I want to get you on. What's your...
I can barely hear what's going on because everything was trying.
Well, what's your general thoughts and any points you want to make to them about this, knowing the story so far?
I think what they're saying is right. Like I agree with them voting people out of office. I guess this is the things that I kind of heard what you guys were saying. But paying attention to who they're getting in, and not just in the general election, but in primary elections also. And at the same time, like Brotha Shawt, what he said about doing things on our own, like not sitting here waiting on somebody to do it for us, but making sure we are being accountable for us, and understanding like the attitudes we have towards us, the negative attitudes that we have towards ourselves come from other people trying to control us and trying to control the outcome. And if we get a better understanding of that, we'll know what the game is and go against it. So, yeah.
So we'll be here all week. Might stay longer depending on events. We're going to also put in the description, once this video is cut, the numbers you need, whether it's the Dallas PD, the politicians, the Attorney General. Might make a difference, might not. Sometimes they get a little irritated. Sometimes they get very irritated, fortunately. So we'll do that, and I'm sure we'll be talking again while we're here. Also, we're about to hit 20,000 subscribers on this channel, so if you're not subscribed, press the subscribe button and spread the word. We've only been up and running for 7 months, so this would really, really be great if we could hit 20,000 while we're here. And we're also close to 10,000 on our GoFundMe. How we got down here to Dallas was your generous contributions. So definitely, we actually want to go from Dallas to another story. So we're not stopping. We tell you, if you support us, what we're going to do with it, and we're doing it. So we believe actions speak louder than words. We're going to be here all week because I think, you know, I got to tell you, I mean, I just think at a certain point, the tipping point was a long time ago, but at a certain point, if we don't get this into the news as a national emergency and a national crisis, then it's just going to keep happening. So any final words?
Hey man, say man, it's your brother Shawt. It's been a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to drop some science on the family. Hey, just follow me, check in, you know what I'm saying. That's all we doing. We really got the boots on the ground. We doing this for the culture, doing it for the youth. That's the truth, you know what I'm saying, because ain't nobody gonna do it for us if we don't do it for us. You did.
What's up, man? Y'all can follow me on my IG at Shakur_6. And man, I just want to give a shout out for y'all coming here to interview us. You know, I want to shout out to Guerilla Mainframe, you know, Next Gen, you know, all the people that supported us while we was locked up, you know, and the people that still supporting us right now, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to be in the streets until we get justice for Botham Jean and O'Shea Terry and whoever else.
I just want to remind you, Botham was 26. I believe O'Shea was 24. And Botham was just sitting in his apartment, right? So, like, if you think, obviously, if you're a black person watching, I mean, if this is normalized and there's no accountability, beyond this is murder, it's not manslaughter. And the fact is, they are not releasing information that is for transparency. Right. This should have been out already, the 911 call. We should know what was the circumstances around this police officer shooting another man last year who she claimed took her taser. We should know, why was her body camera not on? We should know all these things already. And the only reason we don't isn't for the sanctity of the investigation, it's they are closing ranks around this police officer. So I'm not afraid to say it. And we're going to talk to as many people as possible this week, cover as many things as we can. Thank you guys again. Peace.